what's happening in the market is AI is a transformational technology, and it has been for decades. But with Gen AI specifically now, with the latest sort of movement, what we are seeing is the barrier to entry for organizations to really use AI for use cases is very low. You can use Vercel v0 to code something, deploy it. You can use Claude Sonnet alongside VS Code and use the Copilot to start building some prototypes. No, you should not put this in production, but you can get pretty far with these things. So a lot of people are looking at that and saying, okay, so I can just go build an AI product and just go out there and launch it. The problem is that the fundamentals never really go away. And AI is a transformational technology when done right. And being the product person, maybe I'm biased, but you always need to start with the why. What are you trying to do? And what value are you bringing to the end user? Now, whether that's an internal user and you're looking at an efficiency use case internally, like maybe you have a lot of people who write a lot of stuff and you want to reduce the amount of time they spend, leading to a cost saving and better profit margins. Or maybe you have a lot of users who, it's an external use case where your users are looking for unique insights that they haven't been able to get out of the product and the data that you have. So you need to start with that why. And then on top of that, you really need to invest in data. If you don't have clean and good data practices and you don't invest in your data function, you are basically building a house of cards.
Yeah.
Because the AI is going to reflect what's being fed. Even the fact that LLMs are trained on large bodies of text and content on the the entire internet, or Encyclopedia Britannica and whatnot, but you're giving it a context, you're building a RAG, you're feeding some contextual data into it. If you're not doing that, by the way, if you're just writing a ChatGPT wrapper, you need to just stop, because you have no mode. But at the very minimum, you're giving it some context. Okay, so that data becomes very important. But then there is one more layer before you go to launching a product, which is you need to think about tools, practices, governance. How are you going to evaluate the LLM, or if you're using traditional AI models for classification, etc. How are you going to make sure that there's no model drift and the thing doesn't go off on tangents? How do you make sure it's not hallucinating? And you need tooling for that. You need the right people for that. And then you need to think about ethics